Hello everybody, this is Elizabeth again. I'm gonna just get right into things today. I got on to record so I could share just a couple of short dreams right now. They are a few of them that I think could be connected, of warning of some things that we could be seeing sometime, and I'm just gonna share them. So the first one that I had was back before I started keeping a journal of dreams, so I can't tell you specifically the date like I can a lot of times because I write it down. But this one I know I had in 2019, and it was before the tsunami dream that I had. I think that I had it in the summer of 2019. It was sometime around that. I know it was a good bit before I had the tsunami dream that I had. So anyway, I'll share that one with you. So in the dream, I was in my grandmother's home that was supposed to be our home. And if you've listened to some of the other things that I've shared, I told you that my grandmother lived on a street, East Street, and the Lord seems to put me in that location in some of my dreams as a representation of judgment, because judgment can come from the east. And I think that's just how he does to speak to me about it. So I was in that house in this dream, and I went running out to the yard because there was a 747, like one of those big planes, and it was struggling and it was crashing. It was coming straight for us, and at first I was very concerned about how close it was coming to us because I knew it was going to crash and it was coming close to us. Then I watched as it did. It crashed. I didn't see anything, people or anything like that. I just witnessed this 747 struggling, not being able to land, and watched it crash. The front of it was on fire. Then I was standing outside at this point with my mom and my brother, and I was looking up in the sky at all these different planes, just different sizes, different types, all of these different planes that were seeming to be struggling, having difficulties. They were going around in circles. They were falling from the sky. Some of them were crashing. And I looked over at my mother and I said, "They don't have any navigation." And that was the end of that for what I'm going to share. There were some personal things in there that don't need to be shared because they were just for my family. But basically, I saw planes crashing and told my mom that they do not have any navigation. So that was that dream. Then let's see, sometime around March, I don't have the date right in front of me, but it was in March, I had a dream where I was watching a YouTube video from one of the ladies, Joni Stahl, that I watch some. I was watching one of her videos, and it was like it was a live feed that I was watching and participating with. And I just heard, "Don't expect to be able to communicate." And that was it. Now, fast forward, the third dream that I'm going to share was recently. I had it August 15th. I dreamed I was outside with my husband and our kids, and in the dream I had like an open vision in the dream. My kids were playing, my husband was in the yard, they were doing their thing, but I was staring straight up at the sky like I was watching an open vision. I knew in my dream that that's what I was doing. I saw this huge white satellite dish looking thing falling from the sky. It was after I had this dream, I woke up and looked into what I saw, and it's kind of like one of like those big, I think it's called seti, those big dishes. It was kind of like that. It looked like it had clusters attached to it, though. It wasn't just the big dish, but it was that dish with like little clusters of satellites attached to it, like the ones that you see that get sent up in space, the satellites like Elon Musk, all those satellites. It looked like that, like they were all attached to it. And I watched in amazement as it came down out of the sky, kind of out of nowhere, and didn't just fall straight down, but kind of came down and started going across the sky and was going to crash near us. It crashed like just a few houses down from where we were. There was another object that was falling behind it, with it, that looked more like the regular, like the satellite you would see in space, so like the normal satellites, but it was huge and it was falling behind it. And both of these things, the big satellite dish and all the satellite dishes attached to this thing, were bright white. And the satellite that was following behind it also was bright white. And I saw when it crashed, like fiery light went up when it crashed off to the side. And that was it of that dream. But when I woke up, I felt like the dream represented communications going down. And I know that when I had the dream about the airplanes crashing and struggling, not being able to navigate, and when I told my mom in the dream they don't have any navigation, I believe it's because something is coming at some point, and I don't know what it could be, but I believe the Lord is trying to show us or warn us there's possibly going to be something that will take our country's satellites down, our communication down, to the point that whatever happens, planes can't land, planes can't fly, our communications are down. I don't know how much of it, but I do really believe that the Lord is showing me and others too that this is an event that is coming, and He's trying to prepare us for it, and we need to be praying about it. I don't have dates. I don't know what could cause it. You could look up all kinds of stuff that Mike could tell you, but unless the Lord tells me, Beth, this is what's going to happen, I'm not going to tell you it's this, and this. All I'm saying is I had these dreams, and I do believe that the Lord is warning us that these things could be coming, and they could be coming very soon. Now you may wonder, why am I telling you this? But like I tell you, just we need to be praying, and these things may happen, and we may have to be believing the Lord and be able to survive through some things that may be difficult. But I'm going to read to you a couple of verses. I know there's been a lot of people out there that talk about some things coming, and there's a lot of people out there that aren't sure about preparing for these things. The people take a couple of different views. Some people, they go and they say, well, you shouldn't prepare anything because you should be believing for the Lord to take care of you. And then other people will go and they will say, well, Noah built a boat, built the ark. The Lord allowed him to do that, told him to do that to protect him, to protect the animals, to take care of them, to preserve them. And also then you have Joseph, where a dream was interpreted that there was 7 years of plenty coming and then 7 years of famine coming. what did they do? Well, they prepared during those 7 years of plenty. They prepared for the 7 years of famine that were coming. And I think that the Lord's giving us some of these things and telling us some of these things that are coming so we can prepare. Well, Beth, how do you prepare? What are you saying? Well, I think the only way you can know how to prepare is if you pray and ask the Lord, because the Lord may be leading me and my family to prepare in one way that we need to prepare in that way because we're in a certain situation and you're in a different situation. So you need to be praying and asking the Lord, Lord, how do you want me to prepare for what's coming? Number one thing is definitely be praying and asking Him, Lord, what do you want me to be doing? Are we doing that? Are we looking to Him in our everyday lives anyway? Lord, help me. Keep ordering my steps. Have me in the right places at the right time. Keep me away from the wrong places at the wrong time. God is in charge. It's His will be done, but we still need to be praying. We need eyes to see. We need ears to hear. We need to be in tune with what He's telling us. We don't need to be caught up in other things and distracted and not paying attention, because the Lord may be trying to warn some of us and to say certain things to us, to wake us up so we know about some of these things that are coming. Anyway, I'm going to read these couple of verses. So, Proverbs 22:3. A prudent person with insight foresees danger coming and prepares himself for it, but the senseless rush blindly forward and suffer the consequences. And then Proverbs 27:12. A wise, shrewd person discerns the danger ahead and prepares himself, but the naive simpleton never looks ahead and suffers the consequences. So there is just a couple of verses, a couple of times where it says basically the same thing. We need to prepare ourselves. How do we prepare ourselves again? We need to be in prayer. Because I know there's people out there, they go one way, they say, I'm going to let God take care of everything. And then you have the other people out there that are preparing for every possible thing they can think of. And, if the Lord leads you to get some food, get some water, get some clothes, do whatever it is, then by all means, do whatever the Lord's leading you to do. If the Lord says, don't worry about it, I got you, then okay. But we do need to be listening to what the Lord is telling us to do. What does He want you to do? What does He want me to do? We need to have that relationship with Him and be looking to Him for guidance. We need wisdom. We need discernment, peace. But guys, like I always tell you, and I will continue to tell you, take everything to the Lord in prayer. Yeah, that's it.